Hey guys, how you going? Hope you're all doing very well. This evening I'm going to be doing another movie review for you all, so hopefully you find this one interesting. This movie is a horror film from Italy, Italian language English subs, released in the year 2021, directed by Andrea De Sica, and this film is called Don't Kill Me. So Don't Kill Me is about a teenage girl who falls in love with a very bad influence. Her parents don't like this individual. They think that he is going to really lead her down the wrong path in life, but she doesn't listen to her parents. She wants to be with him. So at the start of the film, he's driving very erratically as a joke. He's starting to freak her out because they could have a serious accident at any minute. So it's clear that he is that bad influence, but then they stop the car and they do some drugs and they die of an overdose as a result. So she has a funeral, her family are all very heartbroken, but then inexplicably, days later, she comes back from the dead. She's walking around, she knows she's dead, so she has a lot of questions that she needs answers to. But the longer she actually goes in this existence, the more hungry she's getting. And she can't satisfy that hunger with normal food. It actually has to be human flesh. And so she doesn't want to go out and eat humans, but the more she puts it off, the more her body starts to deteriorate. And so she has a lot of dilemmas coming up to her, but then all of a sudden an outside influence comes in that wants to actually grab her and take her for very terrifying reasons. And so what those reasons are is something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now my thoughts on Don't Kill Me. This is a movie that I had no intention of seeing. When I saw the movie poster, I thought it looked like a Twilight style of film except with zombies. This movie has been panned by critics to no end. It has a really bad score on IMDb. So as I said, I know better than to judge a film on outside influence, but it just didn't really strike me with any intrigue. And so I put this movie off. It was always on my recommendations on Netflix, but I thought, all right, well, I just don't really want to watch that. But then one day I was bored and I thought, why not give this a shot? I saw the trailer, I thought it looked fairly interesting. And so I thought, all right, well, there are movies out there that have surprised me, but I didn't really think Don't Kill Me would be one of them. And after watching Don't Kill Me, I will say that this is a prime example of not judging a movie based on what others think. This is a film that you're either going to like or hate. For me, I actually liked it, and it really surprised me because this turned out to be a film that was completely different to my first impression. This is a film that does have a very strong concept and steers clear of Twilight. So Twilight, it would have been very easy just to recycle stuff that has been very popular in the past and kind of make a mockery of the horror genre. But this film, it gives you the impression that it's going to be like Twilight at the start of the movie, but it takes a very dark turn fairly quickly. And when this movie takes that turn, you realise that this is something different. And so as the movie goes on, I was more and more interested as to what was going on with this girl. But then the concept of this film really starts to kick in and it becomes a lot of fun. So it's a very dark film, but at the same time, it's not taking itself too seriously to be a soppy romance. It's actually a movie that does have tragic situations based on the fact that I thought there was a little bit of time and attention put into the characters, especially this teenage girl's father. I actually felt very sorry for. But then as the situation starts to twist and turn, I thought to myself, I'm starting to feel sympathy for this teenage girl. So she wants to be back with her family. She wants to live the life that she used to have, but obviously she's dead. And so there is no turning back. Therefore, you have that sense of tragedy. And so that sense of tragedy was non-existent in Twilight, and this is the reason why I like this movie, because it's a lot darker than you would expect. The gore effects I thought were absolutely fantastic. It was actually quite a nasty film. And then at the end of the movie, it starts to get nastier and nastier. And I thought, all right, well, where did this come from? And I definitely feel as though it has very harshly been reviewed by other people. Each to their own. If you liked or hate it, it's up to you to decide. But I just definitely feel as though it's not as bad as most people are telling you it is, because it had that really fun concept and it actually kept my interest from start to finish. The acting was very good. They had some darkly humorous moments put in there as well. And so I just thought as though it was a very decent movie. It's not a great film. There are some moments in the editing that I thought were a little bit choppy. I thought some of the acting here and there was a little bit iffy, but pushing that aside, as far as a film of this nature is concerned, it steers clear of the generic popular storytelling and it creates a concept of its own that I thought was a lot of fun. The entertainment value is there, and it does have a sense of tragedy to it that is definitely a three-dimensional kind of experience. And so if it sounds like your kind of thing, go out there and see it. I'm going to give Don't Kill Me 3.5 stars. Alright guys, that's it for my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies and I'll see you later.